Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. Silver will never be the same, ever. This pandemic has changed things for good and it's going to get interesting from here on out. Before we get into this video, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe because I post daily videos. Let's see if this video can get 200 likes. If every single one of you smash the like button, we could blow that goal out the water. 200 is all I'm asking for. Please, please, if you like precious metals, if you enjoy my videos, please hit that like button. It's the best way to support the channel. So anyways, this virus, this pandemic on a global scale has changed things not only from precious metals, but to the economies, to the monetary system, to people's livelihoods, to people's lives. And the reality is that things are not going to go back to normal. There is going to be a new normal, right? There's going to be a new normal. But what does that mean for precious metals? It's going to get very, very interesting for gold and silver in the next coming months and years. The ratio, the gold to silver ratio, meaning how many ounces it takes for silver to equal 1 ounce of gold, might not go back down sooner than we expect. We've been hoping the ratio normalizes or equalizes back down several points, 30, 40 points to the 75 to 1 level, which it usually is, but times are different. And if you want to talk about crazy silver prices, well, we're living in crazy times, ladies and gentlemen. And what that means is that we don't have any clue. We have no clue on how much weirder or how much more interesting things could get. The unknown variable is extremely, extremely high in this scenario because, one, we still don't have a vaccine, so we don't know how much longer it's going to spread, and we don't know how many more people are going to get affected because we just don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. We don't have any way to tell, and that brings in return, a lot of chaos, a lot of controversy, a lot of skepticism, and a lot of hopelessness in people and investors. And that right there could affect and reflect upon the markets, and it could easily affect the way that silver price goes from here on out. So I want this to be more of an open-ended video. And I want to question you guys where you think prices are headed. Where do you think silver's price is headed, for the higher or for the lower, and why? I'll share mine. I kind of briefly did, but I definitely think that silver is going to be looked at more of a safe haven metal sooner than later. Right now, gold is king. Gold is the safe haven metal, but I think in due time, silver is going to play that role as well. It's going to catch that role of safe haven as people realize and understand and learn and find out and discover how valuable and how much potential silver has. And it's happening, right? There's more articles being written, more people, because when you first come into the precious metals market, you hear about gold first, and then you find out about silver's potential, how valuable or how undervalued silver is and where it could be headed, and that's when you start investing into silver. And the more people come into precious metal, the more people they're going to find their way into the silver market. And right now, as there's a lot of economic turmoil, the longer times are severe like this, the more people that entails to find gold and silver, the more people it's going to be. At first, you're going to get the people like you and I, the first-hand investors that have been investing before the virus outbreak. Then you're going to get people trickling in, people that are saying, you know what, I want to take control of my wealth, I want to take control of my financial future, I want to start investing. They look at stocks aren't doing very well, they're going to look in other areas, maybe Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and then they're going to find precious metals, and hopefully they realize that this is it, that this is the safest, smartest alternative. Well, why is this the safest, smartest alternative compared to Bitcoin and stocks? Let's talk about it. Stock markets are pegged to the dollar. They're pegged to the dollar. So if the dollar's bad, if the economy's hurt, then stocks are going to do bad. It's like switching seats on the Titanic if you're trying to invest into your future when you're investing in the stocks. I invest in the stocks myself. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I'm just talking about why silver is the safest and smartest alternative. There still can be money to be made in stocks, but we're talking about money to be made, and money is the real issue. What is money? Something that cannot be created nor destroyed. Gold and silver is the only real money. When I'm talking about money in a fiat currency sense, it's talking about the dollar, and but the dollar's got been deflated. It's deflating itself. It's devaluing itself. The dollar's essentially worthless. Essentially worthless right now, losing 98% of its purchasing power due to hyperinflation. So the dollar is something that is going to be no more sooner than later. A new monetary policy, a new financial system will be in place. It's going to look much different than times now. I'm assuming it's going to be something digital, a digital currency, not saying cryptocurrency, but something along the lines. Once upon a time, I thought Bitcoin could have been it, but there's too many flaws with Bitcoin. I think there's going to be something similar to Bitcoin, but more constructed. I think more centralized. Something like, how Ripple was centralized or pegged to the banks, central banks, how it was also a cryptocurrency. Would be something along those lines. Not saying that Ripple's it, but something more like that. Bitcoin, there's too little. There's only 21 million Bitcoin ever be made. There's halving this year. There's Bitcoin halving this year, which means the total supply is cut in half. So that's definitely not going to work unless you want extremely high prices, which could look good for cryptocurrency for a Bitcoin investor, but that's a whole different video. But, just talking about what a new world would look like, is it going to be backed by gold and silver? Because if not, then we're SOL, right? A new financial system, a new fiat currency cannot be replaced with the same system or it's going to fail again. Every fiat-based system has always fallen, has always failed. And if you want proof, look at third world countries. They're like looking at us in the future. They carry their money in trash bags. Their money is absolutely worthless. Their dollar is absolutely oversaturated. It's been pumped in the system and it's fallen just like we're headed. We're just a richer country, so it's going to take a lot longer, but we're all headed in the same direction with the same result. The same result. So not to get too carried away, but the markets are going to look much different, and I don't think we're ever going to see the same type of markets. And I definitely think that silver is going to get impacted, especially once prices start to rise. Because if prices do rise, I don't think that we're ever going to see these low prices again. Just like when we saw Bitcoin take off to from $1,800 to $18,000, we never saw $1,800 Bitcoin again. It sat around $10,000. Now it's sitting around $10,000. We saw a huge increase, a huge crash, but it never went back to how it was before. And hopefully that's what we're going to be sitting with silver. See, in 2011, silver hit $50, but it happened so rapidly that it crashed just as fast, just like in the 70s, 80s. So we saw $50 silver back then, but it happened so rapidly, it crashed just as fast. So if we want prices to stay at those higher levels, it has to be more of a gradual approach, and hopefully that's what happens. We need sell-offs, we need dips. That's healthy for markets. You want that to happen, because if not, it's just going to crash. So anyways, just to recap a little bit, this virus, this pandemic, this global outbreak has changed the markets, has changed life forever. It's going to be in the history books. Your grandkids are going to be reading about this stuff, just like SARS. And once upon a time, it's going to be a myth like the chicken pox. But, well, hopefully, but things are going to be different, and how much different, it really depends on in the future. It depends on the future. We don't know. And that's the scariest thing. I think that's what drives investors the most insane, is not knowing, right? We don't know, and that unknown variable is what the key is where the key is in price predictions. And that's why these silver price forecasts, these silver price predictions cannot be accurate, because they're basing their information off of right now in the current economy. But what if the economy is much different in a couple months from now or a couple years from now? So the price forecasts are absolutely irrelevant to some extent. I still like showing them because it can give good near term, but for any medium or long term range, those are absolutely irrelevant, right? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found this video educational, informational, or just entertaining. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe because I post daily videos every single day. I'm busting my butt trying to make the newest, latest, freshest, most up-to-date, recent content for you guys and gals so you can invest accordingly. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. Make sure to smash that like button. A 200 like goal easily can be done. Easily can be done. Everyone hit that like button right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'm out. Peace.